Lisa Frankenstein, written by Diablo Cody and directed by Zelda Williams, is a coming-of-age love story about a teenager and her crush who happens to be a corpse. After a set of horrific circumstances brings him back to life, the two embark on a journey to find love, happiness, and a few missing body parts. Or at least that's what the synopsis wants you to think. The movie, in actuality, is a confused mess of a film that doesn't know who their own characters are or why they do things. On the one hand, Lisa Swallows is a shy, unassuming introvert who became that way after her mother was brutally murdered in front of her. On the other hand, she's a smart, quick-witted, and sexy girl boss who has all of the answers to everything. This is what we see on screen, but not what we are told by the script. The rest of the characters are all bland, two-dimensional character tropes, and the creature of the film doesn't serve any purpose other than to be Lisa's silent therapist and, apparently, sex toy. The story, apparently, is about Lisa trying to find herself as she navigates changing schools and towns in her last year of high school after having a traumatic experience that caused her father to marry her stepmother. Taffy, Lisa's sister-in-law, is presented as the pretty, popular cheerleader who is dumb but wants what's best for Lisa and their families combined to get along. Janet, Lisa's stepmom, is a mean, vindictive, abrasive, evil stepmother type who does nothing but shit all over Lisa and blame her for all of the world's problems. Dale, Lisa's father, is a fucking clueless corpse of a person who apparently loves his stepdaughter more than his own daughter and has all but completely forgotten about his traumatic experiences with his old family. The creature has no backstory at all, except for a brief animated opening credit sequence that apparently shows a musician who had a family and then lost them, then found love, but then was dumped for somebody else and then died, quote, unmarried. He's resurrected by a freak storm, I guess, and immediately locates Lisa despite never seeing her or knowing about her because reasons. The plot then develops by Lisa murdering people who have wronged her and using parts of their bodies to put the creature back together again. In the end, her and the creature fall in love, and Lisa kills herself so she can be resurrected again by a freak storm, and she and the creature can be together. Everything in this movie feels like it was an outline on a Microsoft Word document that somebody read over and decided to make a movie out of. They didn't spend any time thinking about the characters or how they could interact with each other in a meaningful way. They didn't bother to spend any time at all establishing Lisa as a character and or how the creature character was resurrected, found Lisa, convinced her that he was good, or who he even was. Things just happen for the sake of the plot to be able to happen and the jokes to land. That's another thing. Nothing in this movie was funny at all. In fact, I would argue it was anti-funny. The jokes were barely even lowbrow. They were downright sewer tier. Every single plot contrivance in this film is because the writer had an idea for a joke but didn't know how to tell it in the context of the film, so they set up actions to happen in a very specific way just so that we could get the punchline scene. And then they decided to describe every fucking punchline. Who does that? Forced, ham-fisted jokes about menstruation and masturbation are attempted ad nauseum, which feels like the movie was saying, please just laugh, and then laughing at their own joke for the audience. In other words, this movie is piss. It's boring, unfunny, uninteresting, and most of all, unentertaining. If you're going to spend the money it costs to go see something in the theater, I'd recommend you spend it watching paint dry because you'll get way more out of it than you get from anything in this film.